So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, and it is the Demetra K Show. And yes, we are live on the Demetra K Show. We promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to Donovan for sitting here. Also, like to say hello to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family. And sometimes we do share the link so that you can come on here and express yourself, ask a question, whatever it is. All I ask is that you be brief, okay? And if I have never seen you on but here before and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then if you want to go back to that, you can. Just want to verify that there is no shenanigans involved, because sometimes people are too silly and they like to do silly stuff. So I don't want to get in trouble. Also ask that we are respectful to one another in the comment section and here on the panel. I know that we don't always agree, and that's fine. It's how we disagree is what matters. So also like to say a big hello to one who cares. How you doing? Who else is on here? Donovan in the news from the Edgemont. Judge, how you doing? Monet, what's going on with you? Kara, I hope you're well. Ja, what's going on with you? So anyway, we are going to be talking about Trump's saying that the undocumented, I have to clean that title up a little bit, are coming to take Black jobs. So of course, we've seen that trending all over. Black jobs. Trump said they're coming to get Black jobs, Black jobs. So we want to kind of give that a conversation. Of course, y'all know they had a debate. I think it was Thursday night, they being Trump and Biden. And we'll talk about that too. So anyway, Donovan, how are you?
Welcome back, guys. Now, I'm used to dry heat. I'm in Atlanta, and it is real out here. We're under a heat bubble. I was sweating bullets. It was unbelievable out here. But I got a lot of friends out here at the base and the city itself, having a really good time out here. It's not great. I was here for the debates, actually. The debates actually happened here in Atlanta, and unfortunately, I could not get into the debate when it was actually happening because they did not recognize me as real press. Isn't that something? They would not recognize me as real press, even though the Constitution says every one of us are press. That goes to show you that the national media and these corporations that own the news that we watch every day, they've taken that narrative to where they're controlling the narrative. I mean, they wouldn't let anybody else in. CNN had exclusive rights to that debate. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get there. But in the meantime, do me a favor. We have a scrolling banner at the very bottom there. You got Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, check, money order, Cash App, whatever you want to do. If you want to donate and keep the content creator motivated, that's one way to do it. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play and Apple Store. The thing is why we're saying that, and it's very, very important. We are getting down to the wire when it comes to these elections. We are less than 5 months away from the election. It's going by like that. You guys want to be in tune with what's happening. A lot of you guys are going to sit on the couch, and that's great. But even sitting on the couch, we are going to tell you guys it is important to register to vote. We're not telling you you have to vote, but it's important to register because that sends a message to both parties that you have voters out there that would rather sit it out than vote for a party that's not going to do nothing for them. So, Demetra, it's going to be an interesting topic. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it. And yes, Atlanta is real quick. I'm from California. I've been to Atlanta several times. It is just a great feeling when everything you see is Black. It looks just like you. You go to a restaurant, Black. Most of the cops are Black. Everything is just Black. It's like a Black environment. And then you see the minority like Hispanic or, the whites in Buckhead, they've separated. But it's just a great feeling. It's almost the same feeling we had, Demetra, when we were in South Africa, just to have that experience. It's a little different when you're not in that environment.
And once again, hello to everybody, Stephen, and tell your wife we said hello as well. It says good evening, Demetra and Donovan. Okay, Demetra, where is that red dress? That was actually a pant outfit. I guess it kind of looked like a dress, but yeah, it's in the closet. So yeah, let's see who else is on here. Black America said, "What are black jobs?" Well, I hope I can explain that. Brother Jonell, what's going on with you? Long time no see. Let's see here. Facts Not Feelings. How you doing? Says peace and love, family. The good news is black jobs are up for discussion, and it was Trump, not the guy who most blacks vote for, bringing it up. Judge says, I heard they didn't let black people in, so yeah, there were no black press there at all. NAACP got mad and put out a note saying how horrible it was that no black journalists were allowed in there. So I think that's very telling. K-Star, how you doing? He says popped in to drop a like. All right, well, thank you. JJ, how you doing? He says when whites say black jobs, they are basically referring to low skilled and low wage employments. Okay, let's see who else is on here, then I can get more into your commentary. Soda, what's going on with you? Samuel C, how you doing? Arneva, hope you're well. DJ Charisma, how are you? Easy, hope you're doing well. Kara, Legacy Tier Strategies. Will, what's going on with you? And Caitlin, how are you doing? Okay, who else? Sparkling for Jesus. Tanza, how are you? Valerie, Marjorie, Lunice. Ooh, y'all up in here typing. All right, and Quita, how you doing? Okay, so let's get into it for the sake of time. Y'all know we don't be on here 2 hours no more, so I'm just going to tell y'all that right off the bat. All right, so as you guys know, there was a debate that took place on Thursday. It's the first debate between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. Of course, both of them are trying to stay or get back into the White House. As you guys know, that Trump was there 2016, but he lost his job, if you will, to that of Biden. So they had a debate. I would like to say it was heated, but it wasn't. It was kind of like watching paint dry, as I think the world, it was rather confirmed to the world what we already knew. Or what we already suspected, I would say, is that Joe Biden seems like he has something cognitive going on with him, as his speech was slurred and seemed like he had a lot of confusion. He was mumbling and just, kind of was piecing things together. So they were asked a whole host of questions. Of course, they were asked the black question, about jobs or something. And of course, Trump spoke to it. I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you a clip with Representative James Clyburn giving it a conversation. He was not too happy with Trump's black jobs comment. So we'll get into that. But yeah, to say the least, the debate was kind of sad to watch. As I always say on here, I never like to make fun of Joe Biden in that, what he's going on. He's an older guy. He's 81. He may be suffering from something. And as I was watching that debate, I got the same sense from Trump. Just kind of looking at his face, I think he was probably thinking, okay, it's a lot worse than we know. Of course, he was on the stage with him, and I think he probably can get a feel for it, which is probably why he didn't go hard in the paint on Biden as he usually does on the social media. Joe Biden, he kind of was going with the jabs, calling him a sucker and a loser because he said Trump said that about the military, and they kind of had a little back and forth about that. But even then, I didn't, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see Trump trade jabs necessarily with him. When Biden said, oh, you're a felon, this, that, and the other, and Trump was like, well, your son is a felon too. So what are we talking about? So nevertheless, this whole black jobs thing was going all over the internet. It went viral. Of course, it was us talking about what's a black job or pretending like they were at the black job. So it got me to thinking. And I said, and so basically, this is what he said, and then we'll get into it.
Black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
What's your reaction to that?
It's Joe Biden has been talking about this. He mentioned it the other night. Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. He has a very, very, very low opinion of people of color. Black, brown, whatever color. He has a low opinion of black people. He's demonstrated that all of his life. And I would like to hear from some of his black supporters why they will not have these discussions about what this man has done to black women, what this man has done to young black youth, and what he has done to his own businesses when it comes to black people. I've talked to Reverend Sharp, and he told me he's been in and out of his businesses and never has seen a black person in any of them. How do you just give this man a pass on all of that? Compare his hiring records to Joe Biden's hiring records, and then that ought to give you some indication of what it would be going forward. So what he said the other night about black jobs meant to me that there are certain jobs for black people and there are certain jobs for white people. There are certain jobs for white people and there are certain jobs for non-white people. And these people coming in will be taking those jobs that are for non-white people, never mind them being a threat to those jobs for the rest of us.
Y'all heard it from James Clyburn, I should say Representative James Clyburn himself. So, of course, you know, he basically wanted to know, how do you black Trump supporters let him get away with that? How do you let him get a pass? Of course, he talked about how he treats black women and youth and employees. He doesn't have any. Al Sharpton told him he never seen any black employees up in there, but Al Sharpton, again, was, you know, kind of a black employee because he was taking money from Trump. But, you know, they don't ever want to talk about that. He basically, you know, to me, James Clyburn gave Biden a pass because we know that Biden wasn't in love with black people as much either. So he says when he hears him talk about black jobs, he thinks about certain jobs being for black people and so on and so forth. So I went and looked. And this is what I found. It says black Americans also make up a large portion of workers in certain transit, health, and security occupations, including postal service clerks. And then, you know, it says nursing assistants, security guards, gambling, surveillance officers, home healthcare aides. And then mentioned stuff like construction, retail, warehousing, waste management, administrative and support. And also listed professional, scientific, and technical services, so on and so forth. So those are the jobs that we in America, black people, predominantly have. But I mean, I think most of us can look around and see that there is something to that. I'll tell y'all a story before I get into it. When I first moved here in this area of Houston, we had an all-black waste management, so trash collection crew, if you will. All black, the driver, people working on the truck, because here they actually still get off of the truck in a lot of areas, get off the truck and pick up the trash cans and they, you know, dump them themselves. And it was real cool. I mean, to the point where we were buying drinks and all kinds of stuff every time they would come around. And one day we just didn't see them no more. It was an all Hispanic crew. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was just, you know, I don't know. So we asked them, and it was like, oh, I think they said they didn't work here no more or something like that, but we never saw them again. My daughter, her friend was also on the waste management crew, if you will. And he said that he didn't get called to work as much because I guess it was kind of like a temp thing as well, that he didn't get called as much because they were calling Hispanics because a lot of times they are in positions of management and they can select their own people. So he said he wasn't getting called back or anything. So we kind of know that's going on. So that's what a black job is. Now, I also took the liberty to look, you know, 2020, when Trump left office, the unemployment rate for black people was 11.4%. Right now, 2024, it's 5.6 under the Biden administration. And it says that the black unemployment rate has gone down, which is still higher than, you know, the national unemployment. But the unemployment rate went down as because it says, for one, there's more jobs in the labor market. So it's loosened up. And it also says that black people, I guess, are doing occupational upscaling, which means that they're acquiring more skills and knowledge to enhance new skills. So maybe going back to school or something like that. But I also looked to see what the unemployment rate was for migrants. And it didn't really say migrants, but it says unemployment rate for foreign-born people, and it's 3.5%. So their unemployment rate is lower than that of, you know, the black unemployment rate. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to have a loaded discussion, but to Trump's point, there are black jobs. Are they in danger of being taken? Absolutely. And I would say that's probably true for, you know, white jobs. Again, it's retail, it's your McDonald's, it's your warehouses. If you work in a warehouse, your job might be in danger, right? If you're working in a waste management crew, your job could be in danger. It's just what it is. And that is the policy of the Democrats opening those borders. They were closed and allowing them to come over. They not coming over here not to work. Let's keep it a buck. So anyway, Donovan, what you say about that? And I'm gonna get in the comment section. So if y'all want me to read your comments, y'all slow down on the typing.
Yeah, you hit it right on the nail, right on the head. I mean, there's no doubt that this is what's happening, and it's so incredible. If you guys paid attention to the debates, both of these guys were lying their teeth out. Biden said that there were more border crossings under Trump than there was under him, and we know that's an outright lie. And shame on the commentators and the moderators of the debate for not doing any fact checking on what these guys were saying. It was just incredible. But let's be real, you guys. One thing about, and I can only speak for myself, a lot of people out here, they see the world the way it's supposed to be. Then there are people like me who see the world the way it is. I've lived in this country for 54 years, and it is no doubt in my mind that both parties actively do whatever they need to do to keep Black people in a subservient position, almost equivalent to slavery. They don't want to pay for the labor that we did, thus we never get any reparations, we get excuses. So let's look at this. And I don't know where you guys have been, and I haven't lived in the country being a military kid and a military person like a long time, like a lot of you guys have that have lived here all your lives. And I don't know why you guys don't see this. I'm in aviation. Remember when you would go to the airport and there were things called sky caps? Most of those jobs were Black. Then the airlines and the corporations got rid of them because sky caps made a lot of money based on tips. They get your bag, they make sure it's getting to the right destination, and you go your place, right? Even on trains. Remember the Black porters on the trains in the late 1800s and the early 1900s? Got rid of Black jobs. They've been doing this for years. And this is the policy of the corporate Democrats and Republicans. Now, like Trump or hate Trump, what he said, though, is truth. It's the truth. Who are these migrants going to affect more? Do you think the Asians are worried about the migrants coming in here and taking jobs? No, Asians create jobs for their own people in their own community. Go to an Asian store or restaurant and ask for a job. No, family business, we know hire. Hispanics, same thing. You go to a Black business, you might see a white guy in there. You might see a couple of Hispanics in there, whatever the deal is. It's just the fact of the nature. These migrants are going to take these entry-level jobs. Now, how many of us that grew up here remember the old McDonald's commercial where they were selling McDonald's will pay for your education and this, that. And a lot of us started working at McDonald's. Demetra, I believe you worked at McDonald's, if I'm correct or whatever. And these are entry-level jobs that we start at. These migrants are not going to affect the white guy. It's really not going to affect the Hispanic guy. So when these people start taking these jobs, who does it affect? Let's be real. Let's talk real, you guys. It's going to affect us. And this is the policy. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I have a lot more to say about it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say because, you guys are the co-hosts and, you guys got to start earning your pay here to be on the show. Okay. I want to hear what you guys got to say. All right. Let's see.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely, Donovan. And Brother Jonell, he says, who you're voting for, America's self-destruction. He says, number one, or America's self-destruction. He says, two, we all would be wise. Hurry up to Allah and the path of righteousness. That's this nation is clearly not on. Neither Biden nor Trump will bring America out of its plain view, immoral, self-destructive nosedive. We must exodus. I totally agree. And we're starting to see a lot of people do that. Like, I ain't going to be able to make it here. It's like you said, it's already in the handbasket in hell. Donovan, was you gonna say something?
No.
Okay. Denise, how you doing? It says all kinds of funds and benefits are being given to the illegal migrants, asylum seekers. Don't get lost in the forest. You might not like Trump, but the immigration issue is real and it's hurting Black folk. It is. But as someone else said too, they're trying to use that as a distraction from Biden's horrible performance. And it was horrible, right? I mean, even I was watching CNN after the debate and they were all just like, oh my God. And there was one Republican guy, I can't think of his name. And, he wasn't, being a jerk about it, but he says the DNC and Biden's family should be ashamed of themselves, and they owe the American people an apology because they were talking about, he could do backflips and cartwheels and all this other stuff. Like, he's great, but we can see he's not. And it's sad. I mean, and you ask me, I think it should be elderly abuse. It's abusive to prop him up there, whether he wants to be up there or not. And, I know when people get older, a lot of times they get stubborn. No, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I can do the job. And it's like, all right, you might be able to, but you're not going to do it like you used to. So you might need to sit down, right? But then as I was thinking about it, because Donovan and I were having this conversation earlier, that might have been strategic on the Democrats' behalf. Like, okay, let's put him up there so people can see, okay, clearly something's going on with him. He can't do the job no more. And then they usher in Kamala, because she did a lot of speaking right after, right? Joe, and even I think it was Anderson Cooper was like, come on, ma'am. You're not going to tell us we didn't see what we saw, So they might be using that as a way to say, hey, it's got to be Kamala. Or she's been doing the job already. So I don't know. There's a lot of things going on there.
And you know what? It comes down to that saying, are you going to believe us or your lying eyes? Now, I watched the debate from over here, and you guys sound like me. I saw the exact same thing you guys saw. But here's the thing, Demetra, like we said earlier, they need to be giving the new black media an apology, because when we were calling something wrong with Joe Biden out 3 years ago, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. This, that. We saw it. I mean, again, it's just incredible. Now at the 5th hour, they're talking about switching candidates, which you never even got a chance to vote on. And we're talking about democracy's at stake. From who? You guys, the Democratic Party won't even give us democracy, even the sense of it. There was no primary. They just shoved this candidate down our throat and said, this is who you're going to vote for. And if they do the switcheroo, like I think they're going to do, they're going to put Kamala up there where, some of these people who aren't paying attention, they're just lifelong Democrats. They're going to vote blue no matter who. If Kamala wins, because that's the only way she could get into the presidency, because if she ran on her own accord, she could not win.
Oh, yeah. And even Trump said it. He says Kamala's approval rating is a lot worse than Biden. So, and he said it. He says that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, prop her up there to, be president. So I don't think Trump was off with that assessment. I think that they're on to something. Herman, how you doing? Says, I'm in tech, and let me tell you, they're not hiring black people. Oh, no, most definitely. And I think it was Bernie's. You said that you're a truck driver, and you're seeing less and less black truck drivers. And we know who they putting up there, right? So it's like, we know what we see. Forget what, because James Clyburn, when was the last time he's been in a factory, or and in retail or any of that kind of stuff. So they're talking from a level of, they don't see this on everyday basis. But people who work in those fields are like, yeah. I can tell you all the time, I worked at Frito-Lay in 1995, and that's all that was there. The majority of them were there. Were a lot of Hispanics, and a lot of them didn't speak good English, if any at all, right? So obviously they had just gotten there, not too long ago. So it's been going on. All right, let's see who else came on here. Let's see. Because I want to catch up in the comments. And our GP, how you doing? Says a little late because I just got back from the gym. What's up? Nothing, just chilling. JBWR, how you doing? Where you been? Bernie's, you say, let some white girl braid their hair and people know that's a black hairstyle, but let Hispanics take certain jobs and now it's not a black job. Come on now. Exactly. We know, and like Donovan, I think that was an awesome example. The Pullman porters, awesome example, and they were one of the first groups of black workers to form a union because they were, dealing with racism and just weren't getting paid. There's a whole lot of stuff, but yeah, that obviously probably doesn't exist. I'm sure it doesn't, but now I'm sure it's, Paco and them, the Paco Pullman, the Paco porters.
Well, funny thing that you say that on the Metro link, Most of the conductors on the Metrolink, the people that are in the train or whatever that is, they're mostly all Hispanic. You know, I mean, if you got a Metrolink, a train type system, wouldn't it be historic to kind of put like specifically Black people to give you that old feel of being on a train and, you know, the old good old days, as the good old white boys used to say, the good old days, you know, it's sad, but it's mostly Hispanic now.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. And y'all keep talking about construction. Yeah, there used to be back in the day, Black construction crews. It's rare if you see any. Like I'll see some every blue moon. I'm like, what? I almost be wanting to stop and talk to them like, wow, where did y'all come from? Because it's just so rare to see them, right? I said the next time I see a Black construction crew, I'm going to try to talk to them and say, hey, what's going on? Like, how did you get this job? I'm just playing. Well, let's see here. Let me continue on. Who else came on here? Bernard, did I see you? If I didn't, hello. He says Kamala can't beat Trump, period. I don't think so, but you know, stranger things have happened. Yeah, and CJ, I feel bad for him too. And I think Trump felt bad for him too. I think he was probably like, nah, I ain't finna go ham on this guy. I'm not gonna do it. Because you could clearly see that Joe Biden was struggling. Like, he was talking about one thing and he started talking about Medicaid and Medicare. It's like, where did you get that from? You know? So I think Trump felt bad for him. Darren, how you doing? Says Joe's wife is hungry for power. You think so? I think she's probably, and I don't know Jill Biden, but I think she's probably just one of those wives that knows something is off with her husband. Is like, but we're not going to tell him because maybe Joe don't know. You know, maybe she's just kind of going along with it, which I think is jacked up. And Marcella, how you doing? Since I've been saying that the Democrat ticket will look like this for November, Gavin and Michelle Obama. You have been saying that. I don't know. I just haven't heard Gavin say anything about it, but then maybe they're going to pull him in the back room and say, hey, we need you. But I don't know what people vote for Gavin because people don't love what California has turned into. If y'all think the migrant situation is bad in Chicago and New York, California, I would imagine, is probably the epicenter of it, right? So I don't know. All right, let me skip down and then I'm going to catch back up once we get to the bottom. Buckhorse, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Joe Joss, how you doing? Says hello, Demetra, and he are telling the truth. He says, and I remember all the different things that he was saying, but I thought that me and some of my family and friends were the only ones that pay attention. So you're talking about with the debate. Hey, average logical thinker, how you doing today? Soto, he says, don't hold your breath waiting for that apology. Ragnar, he says, and how you doing, by the way? The legals will take the jobs in the hood because that's where they will be putting them. That's where they are already. Steven says, I clearly don't like Biden, but that's elderly abuse. Shame on the Democrats. I totally agree with you. I don't know. Maybe he wants to do it and they don't know how to tell him no. Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Hope you're well. Let's see. Norris, how are you? Says Demetra Donovan with help. Finally set up Cash App, something coming soon because I believe in you too. Well, thank you. Love and appreciate you for that. And love and appreciate you for wanting to do that. Don says Mexicans won't hire us. Not. I'm sorry. We're not hiring. They all say, not just the Hispanics, but the Asians and everybody else. Oh, no, we're not hiring. But it's like you got a hiring sign out. One of my favorite movies is, and I always jack up the titles with Lawrence Fishburne, always outnumbered, always outdone or outgunned, I think it is. But it's when he got out of prison and he was trying to find a job. And he couldn't work because he did something really bad. I won't give the movie away, but he was out of prison, kept trying to work. He kept going to the local grocery store and they were like, no, or you got to submit it this way, do this, that, and the other. And he's like, but you guys are hiring. You know, he was so frustrated. But that's how they do us. No, we're not hiring. But what they're saying is they're not hiring us. They're hiring their people.
Right. And you want to know
that?
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off. And you want to know what another good movie was that kind of predicted the future? Michael Douglas Falling Down. How many of you guys remember that movie?
That's a cold movie right there. That's why I don't be messing with people. That's why I don't be messing with people out there in them streets. You might come across a falling down, right? Oh my God. I'm telling you, if you didn't learn nothing else from that movie, mind your business. Okay. And when somebody say they won't change, you make a phone call, give them the correct change. Jay, how you doing? Says that's right. Demi, they started with truck drivers. Yeah, the truck. I mean, people are saying this is what's going on, right? Facts not feelings. He says Kamala will never win. Jill Biden doesn't get along with. You think so? Doesn't get along with her and never will allow her husband to be booted out and put Kamala in. I mean, he might be on to something. I don't know. GP, I'm not sure if we're gonna share the link tonight as we, kind of rocking and rolling. But if we do, you'll be the first to know. Brother Jonelle, you say it only shows our Black entrepreneurs self-dependency, do for self programs is our salvation. As Black people, we are programmed against practice self-preservation. America can't afford dependence. Our dependency is hurting our future generations. We are all over $1 trillion nation, but we are dependent on a vote. Black jobs, while all is in our areas eating our carcasses as we vote for liars. Come on now. Exactly. They are in our area setting up shop, and we talking about, can I get a job? Shouldn't have let them come in there in the first place. And if the city council, city planning, whatever, lets them come in there, you ain't got to spend your money there. You can say, I'm not going to shop with y'all. I'm going to go down the street. I'm going to go to my people or whatever, but y'all going to starve waiting on us because you would starve if you set up shop in their neighborhood. They ain't going to, the minister said it beautifully. And I always use this example. They're not going to allow you to sell egg foo young in their community. They ain't going to eat that from you, but they come and set up fried chicken, all kind of stuff. It's the best chicken I ate. You mean over your grandmama fried chicken? It's the better, huh? What's wrong with you? So yeah. Let's see here. Who else came on here? Art, how are you? Says, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam to you as well. It says illegals don't only work in the field, they work regular jobs and also obtain managerial positions to hire their own. That's what you're supposed to do, right? It's us. I hate to say this. It's us. We get in the higher ups and we get to acting crazy with each other. We get to stunting. Oh, I just can't hire anybody. Oh, I don't know about you. But let them other people, even in our own businesses, you go in any of our own businesses, you don't see all of us in there. You see Hispanics, you see white people, you see all kind of people. You might see one or two of us, but they don't do that in their businesses. So yeah, they that's what you're supposed to do. You get up in a position of power per se. You're supposed to bring your people on. That's group economics as well. Even though you don't own business, you still have some power to make sure your people eat. But we need to take notes, right? And we used to do that. So yeah. And Bernie says, question, what are we going to do going forward? Well, we've been given a blueprint for years. Marcus Garvey, Nation of Islam, Dr. Claude Anderson, so many people. Farrakhan talks about it all the time. We have to practice group economics. We have to build and control our own. We have to do for self. Brother Jonelle said, we got, and some people say $2 trillion coming in out of our community, and we keep we give 97% of that away. So the simple fix would be, and I know we don't have a lot of Black businesses yet, but stop giving away most of our wealth. That's how you start with that.
Yeah, basic economics. When you're digging a hole and you want to get out of it, the first thing you do is stop. So we got to stop spending our money. Just stop spending and start building. It's not rocket science here, but for some reason we have this, and we've been taught it, that the white man's ice is colder than ours. Their buildings are better than ours. This is better than ours, whatever. This is, it's a name brand thing. It's a shirt, for Christ's sake, that has a name on it. And we give more value to something that has no value at all.
You ain't lying. Shan, how you doing? Says, and we are all thinking about the same thing, that the Democratic Party don't give a streak of Black Americans. People don't think about their wallets and their people's. That's it. Sorry if I'm freezing up, y'all, but it does its thing, whatever it wants to do. No, absolutely, I agree with you. Soto says, I lost a job as a new hire amongst all Hispanic males. All they did was speak Spanish. I didn't last long. Surprise. Exactly. They're like, we're going to keep our people up in here. Valerie says, but I don't think Kamala will make the cut. It might be Adam Schiff or Newsom or one of those Jewish people in Congress. You might be on to something. But it sounds like for now they're sticking by Biden. They said, no, he's not being replaced. He good. He going to stay there. So it doesn't sound like the DNC is going to change course, which they're going to have their convention next month. So
let me ask you this, Demetra, then. If that's the course that they're going to do, and you guys in the comments tell me if I'm wrong or I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So you mean to tell me the Democratic strategy to beat Trump is to use the Weekend at Bernie analysis? How many of you guys have seen that movie? That was a classic
I know
too.
exactly what you're talking about. Hey, Brother Samuel, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I know, again, you lost your dear mom. So, again, my condolences. And like I said, reach out to me if you want to talk. But welcome. Jay Bubby says, I felt bad for him, too. Then I remembered the crime bill and got over it. There you go. Ragnar says, how can they get a job without a social security number? That's required for us to get a job. Remember, before they started doing the verification, man, even the people that was writing the legislation now, they had them, Lupita and them, cleaning their house and stuff. And then they brought that I-9 in where you have to verify that you, a U.S. citizen. And a lot of them got caught. They was like, well, wait a minute. Ain't your butler or your line guy, he ain't got no paper? What you talking about? Oh, well, Mm-hmm.
And you guys got to think about this. Just like that Tyson food thing that happened with the migrants, and that showed you immediately what the policy was. But I know for a fact in California, there have been multiple companies that have been caught hiring illegals. But you got to do the math on this. It is cheaper to pay the fine than it is to hire American citizens. It's just cheaper to pay the fine. And until they raise that fine to where it really means something, the corporations are going to continue to, go through the motions and then rehire these people. It's cheaper. And that's what I'm saying. These corporations have figured out a way to say, you know what? There's no penalty for me keep breaking the law. There's no, when they start putting these CEOs in jail and holding them accountable, maybe things will change. But they're not going to do that because these corporations, as you guys know, are people. They're considered people by the Supreme Court, Citizens United. Corporations are people, and they have a right to legally bribe politicians so they can get away with what they're getting away with. But a lot of corporations rather pay the fine and break the law again. If they get caught again, it's cheaper.
Yes, indeed. It's Socrates. Yes, Socrates was the name of Lawrence Fishburne's name in that movie, Always Outnumbered. Socrates. Yeah, and Socrates, boy, he was having a time. Oh my God, it's a great movie though. It really is. Y'all should watch it. I don't see it be like streaming anywhere. It might be, but yeah, it was a really great movie. Let's see here. Mimi, how you doing? Says, I always think of that movie in today's society. Yep. And okay, Jonelle, you are on YouTube now. Says the immigrants are here and presently hustling on all levels, man, woman, child, baby. They're getting your taxes, black dollars, change. We should be doing for self. Yeah, because they're not going nowhere. Trump says, oh, we're going to get them all out of here. I don't know. He may or he may not. But in the meantime, because Trump may not win, Biden may go back to the White House. So what are we going to do then? We got, like I said, we got to do for self. All right, so let's see. I see I am terribly behind in the comments. So I do want to catch up.
Yes, and one last comment.
No, go ahead. I'm catching up.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, you guys, if you don't want to do for self, guess what? You're not going to have a choice because it's going to be something that we're going to have to do for survival at the rate these things are going. Hispanics and Asians have formed a coalition that looks out for them. White folks have always been doing what they're doing. So we're going to have no choice at the end of the matter. So, either we're going to do it on our own accord, or the situation is going to be so bad, we're going to have no choice but to do it.
Right. And hello to everybody that came on here. Easy says, these folks are clearly discriminating on these jobs, document everything, stick together and file lawsuits to counter the blatant discrimination going on. I mean, I agree with you. But, most attorneys are probably going to be like, well, it's hard to prove discrimination on the job unless you got it on tape or something like that. They want to know, how do you know, and all that other stuff. And the unfortunate part is us as Black voters who predominantly vote for the Democratic Party, we put ourselves in that position. We have been warned many times. Dr. Claude Anderson, recently, he talked about it in white labor, black wealth, or however it is, go the other way around. That this was going to happen, and it's happening. So it was like, we could sue and all that other stuff, but what are we really going to get out of it? Would it be nice if we just, build our own businesses and we can hire our own people? I got you, Donovan. We can hire our own people. But I get what you're saying. But nowadays it got to be like, well, how do you know? Hey, Arson, how you doing? Hey guys, how are you two doing? Had a nice week? Oh yeah, beautiful. Well, how about yourself? So just showed up. What did you two think of the debate overall? Anything good or bad you think came from it? I agree with Donovan. There was a whole lot of lying going on. It was a whole lot of stuttering, incoherency. It was bad. It was just two old dudes up there who should be a shady pine somewhere, and thinking about going fishing or golfing, but they're trying to be the president of the United States, messing up the rotation for the both of us. So I don't think anything was gained. I think the obvious is that, Biden is going through some things. I think that was confirmed to everybody. Even staunch Democrats is like, we can't keep defending that. Clearly something is going on there. So, yeah. Yeah, the average logical thinker, like you said, we can stop consuming so much. Stop buying stuff we don't need. Stop buying the wants. Buy stuff we need. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Bernie says we also have to find a way to redirect our youth from this drill, rap, and gun culture. If you turn it around, I think our situation changes overnight. Yeah, and we have to be cognizant of who is pumping that music out to our youth. It's the same people that ain't pumping it out to their youth. They don't think it's cool that their children listen to it. So you're right. Brother Donnell says black people run white businesses and other people businesses better than their own. Imagine if we applied that same energy that we give others to ourselves. We must understand self-preservation as a people. To your own self be true first. Yes, indeed. You ain't lying, boy. We gonna make sure the white man job is intact, but let you be over the brother man job. Now we ain't got no ketchup. I don't know when we're going to get some ketchup. You don't need no ketchup on your fries. Horrible. I'm horrible. Hey, Ramona, how you doing? Hey, hope you both enjoyed your weekend, Demetra. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Says Donovan, you need a hat line. Can we get some merch, please? Proud to promote this show. Thank you. And Donovan, he probably could get a hat line, huh?
Wait. I want to correct you. Did you say a hat line or a hairline? No, I'm joking.
You ain't got no hair, so you could probably benefit from a hairline too. Oh. They'll hook you up with a hairline. They'll stitch you right on up. Just put you some hair in there, leave it alone. It'll grow. You'll be all right. Have your Jerry curl back. You're ready for the world Jerry curl. KP from KC says weekend at Bernie's exactly what they're doing. He's done. Yeah, come on. It's like they're just propping the dude up. Butler 101, how you doing? Says, yep, to evoke emotion. Anita, how you doing? Yep. Weekend at Bernie's. I see I'm so far behind. Brother Sammy says we are used to being branded with a white man's name, Donovan Sadiq. It shows we are still fighting to be his slave, but the lawful captive must be set free. Yep. Mission Vision, how you doing? And OM 648, how you doing? Says the white man as a collective is getting his judgment. I can see it plain as day. I can too. Believe it or not, I can see it. That's why I don't be tripping too much. It's like, nah, they getting theirs and about to get it some more. Top notch rocker. He says, according to Jill Biden's former press secretary, say there is no chance of replacing Biden as a nominee. No, they're not going to do it. They're not. Because they're like, y'all don't tell us what to do. We tell y'all what to do. Dwayne, how you doing? Says, this illegal alien thing is hurting all Americans. It is, but, it's hurting us the most. But again, we voted for that, whether we realize it or not. All right, let me skip down so I could be in the same conversation that you guys are. Let's see who else came on here. J Bubba says, did y'all see Roland cursing out his guests on debate night? I did. Oh my God. Because one of his guests, it was a man, was basically saying, yeah, Biden has got something going on. And Roland cussed him out, dropped the F-bomb. And then some other chick that be on the show, she dropped the F-bomb as well. I'm like, man, this man coming on your show and a guest and you talking to him spicy like that? Man. So I did see it. I wouldn't be going back to his show. Arneva says, having no choice to do for self will be a blessing in disguise. Yep, I totally agree with you. We're going to be forced to do it. It's like, yeah, all right, y'all don't want to do it? Bet. Here you go. And Caesar, how you doing? He says, both of you are speaking so much truth. All I can do is listen. Well, we love and appreciate you for that. And welcome. Michael says, Them folks emphasize immigration because they need them to maintain status quo. You better preach. That's exactly right. And Mimi says, I agree with Demetra. I think the Dems are using Biden as a temporary prop or grooming Kamala to take the lead. I think that's what it is. I mean, they know what's going on. And Regina says the debate alone means he wasn't in his right mind by giving away all of our money to these foreign governments. Yeah, that's what Trump said. He didn't want to own that one. Fee Funkers and how you doing? Says Demetra and Donovan. Edward Blum only seems to target suing blacks. Is that discrimination? He got that Asian boy to make false claims, class action lawsuit against those two, maybe. Nah, he's using the civil rights laws. The one specifically 1866 that talks about you should not discriminate due to race with business contracts and things like that. Now, mind you, these are the civil rights that they tell us were for black people, but everybody else is using them. So he just used the law to his favor. So is he a horrible person? Yeah. Is he targeting black people? Yeah. But he's doing it under the color of the law. So James Clyburn and all them, they signed up for all these civil rights movements and all that. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you cannot have civil rights unless you have human rights. So they still in 2024 don't see us as humans, right? You're going after black people who have less wealth than anybody else. I'm sure there's a lot of white organizations, Asian organizations, Spanish that do for themselves, but they're not going after them. So, but we set them up to do it. Caesar says Newsom is playing possum. He'll be the replacement. I don't know. You might be onto something. Lady Lemira, how you doing? Says I grew up in LA. I was working in a federal building downtown Los Angeles. I was told by an Hispanic coworker that they would soon replace the blacks. No, look no further than the construction business. Oh yeah, they doing it, and they're like, thank you, because y'all making it possible for us to do. So we ain't gonna complain. Let's see.
Right, and real quick, and we got to put the blame a little bit on us. How many of us now that have raised children that didn't go to the school board meetings and whatever, and they're taking out vocation? That really happened in my parents' generation, but they took out the vocational training and all this other stuff to where a lot of these our children, which are greatly affected by the removal of vocational training in school, are greatly affected. Back in the day, there was always a dude that knew how to do auto mechanics. There was always a person that knew how to do plumbing. There was always a person that knew how to do carpentry. Where did they learn those skills? Either at school through woodworking or whatever, or at a vocational training school. They took all that away to put us at a disadvantage to where we will be forever dependent on others to house, feed, and clothe us.
You're absolutely right. And oh man, Jesus, how you doing? It says calling precarious jobs, black jobs on national TV while attempting to pander to black people is the kind of racism that fits America like a glove. That's what happens when the victims are too slow. See, I think people don't like it because Trump said it, but Dr. Claude Anderson said it. We say it all the time. People say it all the time, but Trump says it is racism. It's not racism. It's just true. Maybe it was how he said it, I don't know. But what he said, he wasn't lying. And Joe Biden and Kamala, in 2024, they are directly responsible for that. They have busted borders wide open, allowed them to come over here, and they're in a better position than we are. The taxpayers, black people still pay taxes, and the migrants are in a better situation than we are. So I get it. No, people don't like Trump saying it, but when everybody else says it, they don't have a problem. So, I think we need to kind of check our emotions and be a little bit logical. And I'm not saying this about you. I'm just saying in general. Tree, how you doing? Says, yeah, people still lawsuits from other paying judgment. Okay. And Brother Donnell says, life is mathematics. As Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, if you're not looking at life mathematical, he says you're looking at life. America can't afford our dependency more or less than issues that the immigrants will bloom. And currently giving the Honorable Minister Farrakhan told us business is warfare. It says, if that's the case, it is no business can afford constant dependence due for self, as the Honorable showed us the way via example. Absolutely, we have to. Everybody else is doing it. We used to do it. Our people used to do that. It was like second nature. And now we're like, please do for self. And then KP says, Cash App open, y'all support the show. Well, we thank you for that. Thank you. And Bernie, thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. Says, have you read this report titled The Road to Zero Wealth? If not, it talks about black people having zero wealth by 2053. I have not read it. I have heard of it, and I've heard, I think it's Andrew Yang speaking on it. When he was running for president in 2016, he spoke on it quite a bit. Was it 2016, Donovan? Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was 2016 that he ran. Damn, we getting old. But he talked about the black wealth disappearing by 2053, and that's why he was talking about his UBI program, universal basic income, that would give $1,000 to $2,000 to every American over 18, I think, to the age 70, and all of that. It wasn't for reparations, but he was basically like, well, this will help out, but the black wealth is going to be non-existent pretty soon. So, and I actually heard it was by like 2030, but that makes sense. So yeah. Let's see. Mr. Red, how you doing? Says, we need to stand on our square and vote with our money and vote as a unified voting bloc. Sure, the Sambos won't help, but they never have. We need to control our dollars and stay on code. You said a word right there. And just gonna skip on down. Let's see who else came on.
Real quick, when we talk about $0, like, again, I'm not trying to, everybody has their opinion, and you guys give great comments, and we have people that see the world as it should be, but we got to see the world as it is. I see the world as it is. I'm always going to paraphrase that, and I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying. Demetra, about 8 years ago, it was said that most Americans did not have $300. They had no more than $300 in case of an emergency. That was like 8 years ago, even farther than that, probably. $300. Today, since the pandemic, most Americans have no dollars for an emergency. They're living paycheck to paycheck. So, using our basic logic, you ain't got no money. We're already there. We are already there. We have no money. Most people are living to work rather than working to live. We're there. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. And what people fail to realize is you have emergencies all the time, whether you know it or not. Tires aren't cheap nowadays. How many people got $150 for a tire? So you're right. And more threads, how you doing? And welcome. And thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. It says, hi, Demetra and Donovan. Maybe we have to be up against the wall. We have always done better. That way we had hundreds of black businesses, districts all over America once, because we had nowhere else to go. Yep. And that's where it's been prophesied that we're going to get back to, because it's been spoken that a Trump presidency is going to force black people into, okay, for real, like we got, what is the plan? Right. And even under the Biden administration, we're starting to see that, because we don't have, as John Henry Clark said, we have no friends. We're the only friends that we have, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So as our brother Jonelle said, we need to stop being dependent on everybody else. We are who we've been waiting for. So let's see here. Oh gosh, let me skip down. Y'all in it to win it. Who else came on here that I have not acknowledged? More Thursday says Andrew Yang took a ton of talking points from Dr. Claude Anderson. Yep. Which is not bad, right? At least that you're studying somebody who is well versed, as Dr. Claude Anderson is. What I understand too, the Trump administration, they were handed a copy of Powernomics as well. So we'll see. C. Mackey says, half of our blue collar jobs are now overseas, while the other half is being done by migrants for unlivable wage. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they gonna put 2 and 2 together and make it work, right?
And if you think about that, in Detroit in the 1970s, look at all the black people that migrated to Detroit for those great paying jobs and stuff. And what did the Republican and Democratic parties do? Ship the jobs overseas, because they got tired of seeing black people rise out of mediocrity into the middle class and the upper middle class, and we're really making a move for themselves. Look at Detroit today. And that was under mostly Democratic policies.
Yeah. And V, how you doing? Says keeping those migrants around will truly start to scare them folks because of all the crimes. So just sit back and wait and watch. You know what? You ain't lying. Because there was a horrible case out here where a 12-year-old girl was walking to the store, and our 2 Venezuelan immigrants, if you will, of course, there's cameras everywhere. They show them, going up to her, talking to her. And then they walk off into, under a bridge or something. Of course, y'all know what they did to her, and they murdered her. And then they, left her body under there and just walked off like, what next? What are we going to get into next? And they went home, and of course, they caught them. But I saw another video of Venezuelan immigrants doing a home invasion, because everybody got cameras now in their houses doing a home invasion. They were pretending, I don't know if they were Amazon or something like that, and then they just bum rushed the house. So we're seeing a lot of that go on. But you're right, they're gonna start to say, okay, that was fun. However, and Beverly, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says, since the government is taking jobs away from Black people, stop shopping, stop voting. I'm with you 100%. Ashley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So let's see. Mission Vision just said, I'm starting to save more because the way these prices are looking, I'm trying to keep up. You ain't lying. So I see every time you go to the store, things went up. I like to buy those little bag of small oranges. Like a couple weeks ago, they was like $3.98 at Walmart. Now they're $4.98. It's like,
you know what's sad, Demetra, that you just said that? You know what's sad? You're going to be forced to go to the off ramp by the highway and buy from the Mexican. You get a bag.
They gonna jack up their prices too. Why you hating? Them oranges was good too back in the day. Hey, Glenda, how you doing? Says I would prefer to deal with a person working alongside me than big ass liar. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. One thing I can't stand is a liar too. Cannot stand it. Cause like, why you lying? You ain't even gotta be lying like that. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna skip all the way down. Oh, I got to the bottom. Oh my God. Carrie says manufacturing dried up when NAFTA was passed. And Judge says, I'm sorry, but that little girl was in the streets moving fast. Sounds like maybe she was just going to the store. It's daylight. She's 12 years old. Not unusual for people to go to the store, kids to go to the store. But in Judge, I'm not quite sure how you meant it, so I won't assume you meant anything bad. But she was moving fast in the streets. Do that without two grown men taking her under a bridge and doing the unthinkable to her. And it's sad. And
can I ask something? Just a quick question.
Sure.
The two grown men, not that it matters, but the two grown men, were they, not that it matters, but were they of the same community?
They were. Well, I think, what's her name? Jocelyn. Don't get me. I'm sorry. I don't remember her name. I think she was Mexican. Her family was Mexican, and they were from Venezuela. So they lured her, is what it is. You could tell in the video, sounds like maybe they might have asked her what a story is or something. Maybe I don't know. She didn't seem like she felt like she was in harm's way, just kind of looking at some of the surveillance, but clearly she was. But just knowing that they discarded her body and just walked off, you could see them walk off after they took her under there like, let's go get some beer. It's sad. So yeah. Tanzania says, that's crazy how time brings about a big change in this world. Oh yeah, absolutely. So let's see here. Marjorie says the couch primary will work. Okay, and TT says all set up, period, judgment. Okay. CJ says no farmers market. I ride right past them selling those fruits with no permit. Exactly, because where you get them from. Arson, he says sorry, but been seeing words against migrants from some. Sadly, even I being in Canada, remember C. Anderson warning, Claude Anderson warning you about XYZ since way back. Mindsets will shift from reactive to proactive. Got to. Otherwise, the survival of the fittest analogy comes in. Are we going to just sit and rot and die? I don't know if Donovan froze up. There you go. Oh, fix your glasses. Okay. Easy says, I hope your hurricane kit ready. Yep. It's called a Spirit airline ticket, baby. Spirit. See y'all later. Mwah, mwah. Be back. I'm not putting up with this. No, but for real, I hear you. KO, how you doing? He says, if Trump complained about losing white jobs, we would feel left out and want to know what about Black jobs. Yeah, I can't win for losing, right? So I see where you're going with that. Gregory X, how you doing? Says, was that a debate or a debasement? You ain't lying, because it's like I couldn't even get excited to watch it, because I love debates and stuff like that. It was just sad. And I could tell early on when Trump, even when he was looking, because the mics was muted, but he was looking, they said that was the other thing that was kind of horrible, is the side-by-side screens that they had where you could see each other's reaction. So when Trump was speaking, or when he was listening to Biden, he was kind of like, so you could tell he was kind of like, nah, I'm not going to be the man for the job. I'm not going to take him to task. I think I could be wrong. Got you, Donovan. Samaj, he says the dollar stores are sell groceries now. Yeah, I'll be kind of leery about too. Ragnar says, don't blame the victim. And Stephen James, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Easy says, I was just happy they were not black. Oh, I know. We're talking about the guys that did that to her. Oh my, it's just horrible. And that made me so. And then y'all notice too on social media, which I'm glad that a lot of people are starting to post the missing people, people who are missing, because that's the stuff we need to be talking about. But just to know that a child had to endure that. And it's like, I know that people who live here do that kind of stuff too, but it's like, does that give credence to what Trump was saying about who they're allowing to come over here? Because he said that when he at the debate, he says they're opening up the prisons and the mental hospitals and stuff, and just letting people come on over here. So I don't know, was he on to something? More 30 says Black Bottoms, Paradise Valley, Black District in Detroit. People talk about the crime, but it had 800 Black businesses rather, in one area because they couldn't go anywhere else. They privatized the area. Right. And then we know what happened with that. Of course, you're a historian, so I shouldn't even be speaking for you. But we know what happened, right? And your average logical thinker says, yeah, that 12-year story breaks my heart. Yeah, that was just, it's like, gosh. Anybody, like I said, any child to deal with that. How it's innocent enough, you just walk into the store. You never think that somebody's going to do that to you, or as a parent, your child is walking to the store. You never think that's going to happen to them. Broad daylight. So it's not like, from what I understand, it's not like she was out in the middle of the night. It was broad daylight. So Libby, how you doing? It says, hello, beautiful people. We need to stop thinking that politicians are our friends. They're not. We need to free ourselves and rely on self. The government doesn't care about us. You ain't lying. Facts Not Feeling says she was Hispanic and so were they. So yeah, different types, I guess, if you will, Hispanics. But if they were Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy, and I know y'all not saying that, so don't mistake me in that, but just, it's terrible. I don't know. I think that's kind of what makes me wonder, and y'all don't mistake me in this. I'm just being honest. Like, how could there be a God and that kind of stuff happen to children? To anybody but children. You know what I mean? And nobody should endure that but children. I think that's kind of where I have to sit and wonder, like, well, what are we doing here? What can a child ever do to deserve that? Have two grown men do that to her and then murder her. It's crazy. Let's see here. I can't believe I caught up. Facts Not Feelings, he says, I suspect the people in charge are destroying the country by allowing so many criminals in the country because they realize they will lose power. Something's going on. It ain't right. Arnibody says those two Venezuelans won't do well in prison, and I hope they don't. See, those are the people they need to put on some G-strings and just let them loose. Let them loose, unsupervised. There you go. What happens, happens. You know what I mean? Those are the, since you want to do that to people, somebody else, you should have it done to you. Don't take them out of here. Just keep them at the within an inch of their life. Revive them. You ready to put them back on? Hit the stroll. Hit cell block H. We'll put you back in the infirmary. We'll take care of you. And guess what? You're getting right back out there. That don't ever let me be in charge. Never. Anyway, what were you, 6 minutes, Donovan? Let's see. Average logical thinker says Joe Biden's facial expression had me and my son laughing. Yeah, he was like, it was sad. I have my heart really believes for older people. Not listen, I don't want nobody to mistake me. I know Joe Biden has been very adverse to us as Black people, but I'm with the guy on CNN that says they should be ashamed that of putting him up there like that. Just I don't know. It was hard to watch. Soto says the easiest thing Trump could have done was keep quiet during Biden talking points. Well, his mic was muted, so he couldn't talk. Donovan?
Yeah, and Biden made the case for him, so just let Biden. I mean, it was obvious the guy was not there cognitively. At least that's what I saw. But the funny thing is that when you're saying that, Demetra, in regards to making that case, it's just when are we going to have enough? When do we just say, you know what, we've been going through this for 400 years. They keep us at the bottom. When do we say we have enough? It seems like we just say, thank you, more please, more oppression, more this, more that. These bootlicks go up there, do absolutely nothing for us, and we keep reelecting them, and it's just lunacy.
I agree with you. Judge, you said she was walking around with those guys that's on camera. They didn't kidnap her. So once they lured her under that bridge, do you think at one point in time she said, hey, I don't want to be here. Where are we going? I want to go home. Do you think maybe she said that at least once? Do you think that she was planning to go to the bridge with two guys she didn't know? I would imagine she probably cried for me go. That is kidnapping. In addition to her being a 12-year-old little girl, that regardless if she says, I want to go with you, they were the adults and they should know better, and that the onus is always going to be on them. And Judge, I don't think you're asserting that she asked for it. At least I hope you're not asserting that. But we're never going to blame her, because I can't think of too many people who would be like, well, I'm okay with that happening to me, because what I understand, they strangled her to death. Now, if you know what that takes to strangle somebody to death, that person is not just lying there unless they're incapacitated. They're not lying there and letting you do it to them. They're struggling, they're fighting, they're scratching, they're biting. They're doing a lot of stuff. So with that scenario, that doesn't sound like she wanted to stay there. It sounds like she probably wanted to leave. So it's kidnapping. Marjorie said reparations now. Says if the United States government has this plan to reduce our economic growth, the reparations are justified because the government egregiously discriminates against us. Yes, that's the ultimate fix. One of them is reparations, so you can close this wealth gap. All right, and he says American laws written by dishonest people, project criminals. You ain't lying. Easy says they will be asked if they want their cornbread in prison. Okay, you gonna eat that? Godspeed, how you doing? Says, and the fact that there's so many Black people are saying that they support Joe Biden is really sad and disturbing. Yeah, I don't understand it. They don't care. They don't care. I'm just going to stick out my arm. I'm going to take the infusion. I'm going to vote blue no matter who. I don't care. If it's the Blue Man Group from Vegas, I'm voting for them. That's what they own. Okay. And more threads. It says they're truly using Biden. It's elder abuse. What's being done to him? I do have that he is probably stubborn and won't agree to step down. These congressmen refuse to give it up sometimes. A lot of times they, be right up in the office and they go in there and they be done doubled over on the damn job. Then they be lying in state at the rotund.
Right, but at the same time, though, if a person is not cognitive in their right mind, can they make decisions for themselves? See, that's what isn't it weird? Because he's the president of the United States and he's running around not really knowing what he's doing. That's okay, but let somebody else who's a regular person who's not in their cognitive state of mind, they're talking about throwing charges at his caregivers.
Right. Jason, how you doing? Says, do you think they knew the little girl? It doesn't sound like they did. If they did, I don't know. But if they did know her, I don't know. It's horrible. If they did know her, what they did to her was horrible. And to discard her body, just leave it. Just leave it there after they did what they did to her. I wish them, for anybody who harms children, I wish them a horrible life forever. I do. And I know that sounds kind of jacked up, but I do. I wish them a horrible life forever and then some. So CJ says, I'm a millennial and I've noticed that a lot of us, not me, of course, overlook the disrespect because of the social liberation. Okay. Let's see. Bobby, how you doing? Says, shout out to everyone from Vegas. Oh, I know it's hot there. It's hot here, but I know you hot. I was out walking in nature today and I got a sunburn on the side of my face. Oh, it's stinging so bad. Hopefully tomorrow it'll cool off a little bit. But yeah, I have to start wearing sunscreen now. Judge says women never take accountability for what they do. That's the problem. Judge, I really love you. I do. But she was not a woman. She's a child. And even if it was a woman, Donovan, can you help me out here? Because, I know from a woman's point of view, me saying that 12-year-old girl didn't deserve what she did, whether she walked off with him, whether she knew him or she didn't. I don't think it has anything to do with women not taking accountability. I think we're blurring the lines here. Even if it was a grown woman, what would she have done to deserve that?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, regardless if she's a woman, a trans, a binary, whatever, a 12-year-old person doesn't deserve to be strangled to death and just thrown away like trash, regardless of, if she knew the person or she didn't know the person. We got to get out of the point of the fact of the matter is minors are supposed to be supervised by the adults and whatever. You can't hold a child in response to their actions when they're not even cognitive to even vote or, take responsibility for themselves. The onus, like you said, is on the adults. So again, I mean, I see what he's saying in the aspect of what he's saying, but when do we get to the point where we start holding the adults more accountable to what is going on?
Yeah, we're about to get out of here, but Judge, I'm kind of, disappointed. I still love you though, but I'm disappointed in your line of reasoning. Says she was young, acting grown. That's what happened because that's what they say about young girls. Oh, she was acting fast. That's why that grown man did. He still should know better. She's acting fast, whatever that means. He still is the adult. He still has he should have the ability to say, little girl, get off my lap, whatever it is, right? But there's nothing you can say to, and I know you said she's not one of our own. I don't care. She's still a child because that's what they say about our children. There's a lot of our children missing. They say, I don't care. Well, I think we should focus on our people first. That could have been a Black child. It could have been anybody's child. And I never would want to be in that mother's shoes of having to relive that every day for the rest of my life, or her father knowing what happened to my baby. If she was green, I would not care. I'm just one of those people. I'll catch a case over a child. I've always been that way, and I'm gonna die that way. So anyway, we're about to get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. As you guys know, we shortened it a little bit because I know everybody else has shows and stuff. So we want to allow y'all to go enjoy those. We could be here with y'all forever. We know. Yes, Easy says no 12-year-old deserves that. Yes, so y'all talk to him. Y'all talk to him. Yes,
and then and real quick, I just want to add again, you guys go out and check out your Average Logical Thinkers YouTube page, as well as Miss Sweet Talk's page. They be talking some real stuff there. But again, these migrants that did this thing wouldn't have been over here if it wasn't for Democratic policy. And I'm not pointing the finger just to say that, but let's think about it. If those borders weren't open, would this have happened?
And that's the argument, because Trump brought that up. He says, I talked to her parents right before I came on here, offer my condolences and stuff like that. And that's exactly what he said. He says that that probably wouldn't have happened to her if the borders were not open. So Donovan, I'm glad that you ended on that note. But anyway, we love and appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mike. You said another nice program for all of you guys that like, subscribe, donated, all that. We love and appreciate you, as the show does incur some costs. So every little bit helps. So again, I don't know if Donovan will be back on Tuesday, but if he is, he'll let me know. But I'll be here nevertheless. Donovan he's in Atlanta. He's enjoying this. Man, you used to it. Been all over the world. You done be in Vietnam. When I was walking today, just for a second, I was walking today. And I was like, because I was on this nature trail and it tells you all the wild animals and snakes and stuff that might be in there. And you got this tall grass. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in Vietnam somewhere and walking in the rice paddies. And because it was so humid. So you're used to it. You're used to this weather. What you talking about? So anyway, RC said one last thing about Biden, how black people forgotten how Biden quickly ignored them last election and made a crime bill for the alphabet and Asian, but not the blacks. No, we ain't forgot. We trying to remind everybody. Thank you, CJ. So anyway, y'all have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to find something to cool my face off because it is hot. Got a sunburn. Anyway, y'all have a great day. We'll be back here on Tuesday. Yes, Arson. I ain't going to keep going over that because it's going to make me mad. So anyway, we'll see y'all later. Peace.